In the movie's opening scenes on Pandora, Jake Sully, played by Sam Worthington, reflects on his life as the leader of the Omaticaya clan among the Na-6 people. He and Neytiri, portrayed by Zoe Saldana, have children, including an adopted daughter named Kiri, played by Sigourney Weaver, who is biologically related to Grace Augustine's Na-6 avatar. The couple's children also interact with a human boy named Spider, portrayed by Jack Champion, who could not be cryogenically frozen with the other humans due to his age. While the children view Spider as a cousin, Neytiri believes he would be better off with other humans, in part because of her resentment toward the Sky people. Despite the idyllic setting, Jake's contentment is abruptly shattered as RDA shuttles descend upon Pandora, causing widespread destruction and killing wildlife. Jake and Neytiri swiftly evacuate their children and other Na-6 to safety, but as they witness the devastating aftermath, Jake holds his wife in shock and horror. A year later, Colonel Miles Quaritch, played by Stephen Lang, awakens in his own avatar body, having been resurrected. Upon encountering his former colleagues, who have now taken on Na-6 forms, Quaritch initially attacks them. However, upon viewing a video log he had made prior to the failed mission to destroy the Na-6 Tree of Souls, Quaritch comes to understand what has transpired. He gathers a new arsenal and determines to lead a team back to Pandora with a singular objective: to kill Jake. The RDA has established a mining base on Pandora, as well as a settlement called Bridgehead City. Jake leads a group of Na-6 on their Ikran to assault the humans' aircraft and supply lines. During the attack, Medium and Low AK try to participate but put themselves in harm's way. Jake rescues them and scolds them for endangering themselves. After returning to their camp with the rest of the clan, Jake talks with Neytiri about the impact of the recent changes on their children. In another part of the story, Spider accompanies Low AK and Kiri to the human research facility where Norm Spellman and Max Patel are still working. Kiri communicates with Grace's avatar while Spider expresses resentment towards his father, Quaritch, in contrast to his Na-6 friends who at least know their parents. At the base, Quaritch and his team meet with General Francis Ardmore, who updates them on their operations since Quaritch's death and informs them of the advantages the Omaticaya have. Ardmore then shares how they can gain their own upper hand. As Quaritch's team enters the forest, they coincidentally encounter Jake's kids and Spider who are playing there. While Kiri enjoys nature, the other children notice Quaritch and his team as they survey the former link unit for the humans and their avatars. Quaritch finds his skeleton inside the AMP suit where he was killed. The villains discover Jake's children and identify them as such because they have 5 fingers. When Quaritch meets Spider, he recognizes him as his son. Quaritch calls in Ardmore and her squad while he takes the other children as hostages. Neytiri and Jake arrive at the scene and are shocked to see their adversary alive and in a Na-6 body. Neytiri eliminates some of Quaritch's team, but they retaliate with gunfire. Despite the chaos, Jake and Neytiri manage to rescue their kids, while Quaritch and his remaining teammates retreat, taking Spider with them. Ardmore tries to torture Spider to extract information about the clan's location, but Quaritch intervenes, urging her to win the boy's trust instead. He convinces Spider to join him on their mission, or else he will face experiments by the scientists. Jake discusses with Neytiri the need to depart from the clan due to the danger they face. While Neytiri is reluctant to leave her home, Jake assures her that it is the best decision for their children and the clan. He hands over leadership to Tarsem and departs with Neytiri and their children, riding their Ikran to the home of the Metkayina clan of Na-6 on the eastern seaboard. There, they meet Tanawari, the clan leader, and his pregnant wife, Ronald. Jake requests shelter for his family, but some tribesmen look down on them for their half-human heritage and the potential danger they may bring. However, Tanawari respects Jake's accomplishment as Torik Makto and permits them to stay. He instructs his children, Ayanung and Syria, to teach Jake's children how to adapt to the oceanic environment. Quaritch and his team lead Spider through the forest, with the boy becoming their translator for the Na-6 language that they are still trying to learn. Quaritch also forcibly links himself to his own Ikran, similar to how the Omaticaya did. Jake's children join Aonung, Cyria, and Aonung's friend Rotso to explore the reef. Cyria shows them how to communicate with underwater creatures through sign language and how to link to them, similar to the Omaticaya. However, when Loeke tries to link to a creature, he is quickly pulled through the water and thrown off. Meanwhile, Kiri has a more natural connection to the creatures and helps one of them interact with Tuk. Jake and Neytiri are taught how to fly the Tsurek, which can move in both air and water. Loeke develops a closer relationship with Cyria, who helps him improve his breathing underwater. She also teaches him how to use creatures that provide air when resting on their backs, allowing them to explore deeper underwater. However, Aonung and Rotso are hostile towards Kiri due to her being considered a half-breed, leading to a physical altercation where Loeke punches Aonung in the face. Medium and Aonung's friends also join the fight, prompting Jake to scold his sons for their behavior. Jake compels Loeke to apologize to Aonung, who then invites Loeke to go on a hunt with him and his friends. They trick Loeke into pursuing a creature, which leads to an attack by an Akula that kills Loeke's mount and pursues him. Loeke is saved by a Tulkun named Payakan after attempting to swim away, and he removes a harpoon stuck in Payakan's fin, gaining his trust. Kiri, who has been feeling different recently as a result of what she has been seeing, is addressed by Jake. She asserts that their deity Iwa's heartbeat is powerful and that she can sense it. She is given the reassurance that she is healthy from Jake. The group then witnesses Loeke's return. Tanawari chastises Aonung for having taken Loeke beyond the reef when it was banned, but Loeke takes the fall for everything to protect Aonung. Jake warns Loeke that his behavior has brought dishonor to the family, but Aonung learns to respect Loeke. Loeke shares his experience with Payakan with his siblings, Cyria, and the other Metkayina. Cyria then informs Loeke that Pakayan is regarded as an outcast among the other Tulkun. Cyria leads the others to the cove of their ancestors and shows them how the land appears during the eclipse after Loeke tries to speak with Payakan to discover more about his past. She also directs them to the Metkayina Tree of Souls underwater. Kiri is able to see and speak with grace when she connects to the tree. But shortly after, Kiri had a horrible seizure, and her siblings return her to the shore. Jake is informed by Norm that Jake may be experiencing images as a result of frontal lobe epilepsy. Unfortunately, Lyle Wainfleet, Matt Gerald, Quaritch's teammate, alerts him that a radar was picked up from the gunship that Norm and Max arrived on. The bad guys then team up with a whaling vessel run by Captain Mick Scoresby, who are already on the prowl for anti-aging cures, to give them an advantage. The Metkayina people form a close connection with their Tulkun, like Ronal and her soul sister Roa, but their peaceful existence is disrupted when Quaritch and his team arrive. In a ruthless act, they murder a Tulkun and intimidate a Metkayina woman to reveal the whereabouts of Jake and his family. Spider, filled with horror, urges his father to intervene, but the villains proceed to set fire to their dwellings and vegetation. Finally, Quaritch instructs his crew to initiate an attack as bait for Jake. Loeke persists in his quest to uncover the reason for Payakan's exile and is granted access to his memories by Payakan. Through this link, Loeke discovers that Payakan attacked the whalers in retaliation for their slaughter of his mother and family. However, when Loeke tries to share this newfound insight with the Metkayina, Jake intervenes to avoid further conflict with the group. Loeke confides in Cyria, who puts her trust in him. The whalers launch their attack, using harpoons filled with inflatables to pierce the fins of the Tulkun, including Roa and her offspring. Upon their arrival, Ronal and the other Metkayina witness the harrowing scene, and Ronal laments the loss of her soul sister and her young. In their rage, Tanawari and Ronal, accompanied by many infuriated Metkayina, blame Jake for the intrusion, as they had anticipated this outcome. Jake alerts them to the fact that the whalers have equipped the Tulkun with trackers, making them easy targets, and urges the Metkayina to warn them before they too fall victim to the whalers' cruelty. Despite Medium's warnings, Lo-ak embarks on a mission to warn Payakan, accompanied by Tsairia, Aonung, Kiri, and Tuk. Upon reaching Payakan, they discover that he has already been targeted with a tracker. Medium contacts Jake to inform him of the situation, and he and Neytiri set out to rescue their children. The whalers launch an attack, targeting both the kids and the Tulkun, but Jake and Neytiri, aided by the Metkayina warriors, engage them in battle. Despite their efforts, the kids are captured and taken aboard the whalers' vessel. When Quaritch confronts Jake, holding Lo-ak at gunpoint, Jake prepares to surrender, but Payakan intervenes, risking his life to save his soul brother by launching a forceful attack on the vessel. The Nasiks launch a fierce counterattack, receiving reinforcement from Payakan and the Metkayina, resulting in the demise of most of the whalers. During the battle, Scoresby attempts to harpoon Payakan, but he retaliates, severing his arm and causing the boat to capsize. The children manage to escape, aided by Kiri's aquatic abilities, and spider defects to the Nasik side. As the conflict escalates, Medium rescues his siblings and their companions, but he is gravely wounded. They transport him to a nearby rock, but despite their efforts to save him, he dies. Neytiri is consumed with grief at the loss of her son, and the rest of the family is devastated by the tragedy. Quaritch contacts Jake, informing him that he has taken Kiri and Tuk hostage. Jake and his allies, Neytiri, Spider, and Lo-ak, head to the sinking vessel for a final showdown. Neytiri mercilessly slaughters Quaritch's team in revenge for Medium's death, while Jake confronts his arch-nemesis. Quaritch emerges with Kiri, holding a knife to her throat, and Neytiri uses Spider as leverage. Quaritch initially denies any attachment to the boy, but eventually relents and releases Kiri when Neytiri cuts Spider's chest. Neytiri takes the children to safety, while Jake engages in a fatal battle with Quaritch. The family is submerged as the ship begins to entirely come down. Quaritch is fought by Jake until he is able to put him in a chokehold and allow him to submerge. When Lo-ak finds his father, he is told to leave without him because Jake doesn't believe he will survive. However, Lo-ak helps his father breathe by using the technique Tsairia taught him, and they escape with Payakan. In the meantime, Kiri calls forth the sea life to assist her in rescuing Tuk and Neytiri. Spider dives into the water to save Quaritch, but he deserts him because of his terrible deeds and returns to Jake's family, where Jake formally adopts him as a son. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this in the future.